just turned 10, 12 o'clock. So the gap comes about in May. Good afternoon. So we need be May. Good afternoon. So we need PMI. Happy New Year. Welcome back to Thailand. How are you doing today? For instance, my hair looks like it looks just where it is. I can't give up. Anyway, so I hope you're doing well. For instance, welcome back to me. Welcome back to my channel. Whatever, Manchester City. And it's today. It's Walang Khan, as they say in Thai. It's Tuesday in England. I think you guys just woke up at 6 a.m. in the morning in the United Kingdom. And it's another day. I've been up early since 6 a.m. as per usual. Been running I went to the market, to the supermarket, and even though it's a holiday in Thailand, and some offices, usual stuff, the office buildings up shop. The best thing about Thailand is the fact that the shops never close. Really, you can always go to a shop, and get something. So it's all the supermarkets are open. Majority of them, I think there's only a butcher shop which was closed, but other than that, everywhere else is open, and the markets are open. So, for instance, and that's happens on Christmas, even though they don't celebrate Christmas. New Year, Thai Falang New Year, what's it called? Western New Year on the 31st. For instance, Thai New Year, like it is now. For instance, then you've got Chinese New Year, but it's open 23 every day. There's no closing time. There's no maybe it closed a bit earlier or something like that. But other than that, everyone's open. So it's always wonderful. You never have to worry. The only thing they have to do is you have to worry about if you want to buy beer in a shop, because they've got this stupid rule between the close between 2 and 5 o'clock, etc. And where you can't buy beer, for instance, because of some stupid law. But the looks like they're changing that now. So, for instance, you'd have to, you can go to 7-Eleven, 7, don't say 7-Eleven, 7. And so for instance, you can. So hopefully that's going to be amended soon. Apart from that, you can always go out. So for instance, I've been out to run, Wang swim. I went down to the Thai, the beach. Went to Wang a lot of Thais out. For instance, all sat in the sun, because the sun's not. They're all sat out away from the sun. They don't like to sit in the sun. The Thais. All the Falangs are all sat there, but all the Thais are all sat in the with the bodies out, walking around with t-shirts. Look at my manly body, with the old bombui, and then all the Thais are all covered up, and but they like it in the morning. Then they'll disappear because when the sun gets highest, because they don't want to be dark skinned. Even though they got beautiful skin, absolutely beautiful skin, but look at me, 3 years in Thailand, etc. I still look white. But still, it's only bad. But apart from that, so for instance, then I ran up to the Thailand, which is the market, and look at this, I need to get some food. So I'm running a bit late doing this, but let's crack on. So another day, the reactions are coming off, and from the weekend, for instance, a lot less talked about Manchester City. I wonder why. It's because we won, and they don't want to slag off Manchester City. But I tell you the thing is, what's surprising is there are absolutely a lot of criticism coming in from United, of course, and their pathetic performance against Newcastle. But Chelsea and their problems, and Maresca, for instance, and their problems. Spurs, Spuds, for instance, and their problems. What was it between United and the Spuds, etc.? They got 31 defeats this season, and they talk about Manchester City falling off a cliff, and they've got 17 defeats. Oh, Man City are falling off a cliff. We're going to end up third. So there's a lot of quietness about Manchester City at the moment. Oh, I'm sure somebody will mention the 115 soon before the end of the week. But other than that, for instance, there was and the other fans from the other groups are all about their clubs, and so there you are. So there you are. Anyway, so so the only news really came out of City yesterday was the reaction to Pep Guardiola's press conference, second part, and potentially new signings. And again, for instance, I will take the new signings with what I take it with a pinch of Kem, as they say in Thai, Kem salt. Because quite honestly, for instance, you get a lot of garbage. And again, for instance, I reiterate and say once a time, come on. It's like, for instance, unless it's concrete, how many people knew about Kuzanov? How many people knew about Reese? How many people knew about Nico Gonzalez? Exactly. So, for instance, and everybody's kind of clutching at straws. The media just making it up as they go along, and they write things, and of course, people go, ho, 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 ho. The sheep, meh, meh. I believe what I read from the British media. Whatever. Yeah. So, for instance, yeah. Anyway, so what came out yesterday? And there was a certain bit of, again, for instance, out of 10, I've got a 10. For instance, anything higher than to a high up, will give me a more confidence it's got to happen. And so yeah, I think also Man City again have been tight-lipped on transfers, and I think, for instance, when the Pep Guardiola is asked about defence, how many players do you want in? I don't know. You don't know. Of course he knows. He's not going to tell you, media. You know the way you've been treating Man City so often. So he's not going to say how many players he's got or how. The only thing what was really come out his actions was about Nathan Ake, John Stones, and Nathan Ake, John Stones, and Michael Akanji, and about the amount of times, for instance, people getting injured, and the fact that we need players who go into go every 3 days. So it don't look good for them, lot. So anyway, so what was? Let's go through the transfer rumours, and we'll see. And also contract. This one was I like. This one I was happy with because quite honestly, I've seen this guy. As the kids say, he's a baller. He's a good player, and he's Divine Musaka. Musaka? I don't get it. Is that the line from The Lion King? For instance, so I do apologise, sir. For instance, I know if I get your name wrong. For instance, but he's looks like we're working on a new contract from him because he's gaining a lot of interest. And this one's from Fabrizio Morano, who just, sometimes I have to really listen to that guy to understand what he says. And again, for instance, the way he starts his show halfway through and then stops and goes to the beginning, and then he does this stupid way he's on the phone and he just says, what the hell's that all about? God, just come on, start. I can't stand it when people start videos and start halfway through. I think I should do this instead. Go, go start and then go right from the beginning again. It's crazy. I don't understand. Well, anyway, so for instance, but this guy's getting a lot of interest from the likes of Ajax and Bayern Munich. For the highly rated 17-year-old, I've seen him a few times. I think this guy is great. And I think, for instance, I'm happy to see City's working on a new contract for him. So that really cheered me up when seeing that. Another person also looking at a new contract is Nico O'Reilly, contract extension, which is interesting because Chelsea wanted him, and he said no, he wants to stay at City, and that's a good thing. And now Man City are progressing well. He's happy at City. He's a blue. And for instance, he wants to stay, and he's probably absolutely chilling right now because he's got in a good place at the moment. Ilkay Gundogan again, he's strict his contract, etc. Whether Fenerbahce or Galatasaray come in for him, if they do come in for him, then I think he'll go. I think it'll probably be a thing of a mutual consent if he does go or doesn't stay. Phil Foden also, I thought, was actually looking for a bumper new deal. City looked like we're going to be offering him that, so that looks like a good thing. Which is good because the guy's had a shocking season, and it'll just give him a bit more, don't worry, mate. Get your head together. You'll be back next season because we trust you. And again, we've got to look at you got to look at everything in the great grand scheme of things. I think too many City fans have fallen off the cliff. They fall off the cliff, not the football team. They fall on the cliff because they're so used to Manchester City winning. They're like United fans, some City fans, and they're so used to seeing City win. And when we haven't won anything, they go fall off. Oh shit, he's crap, he's rubbish. Get rid of him. He's too old. Right? There could be bundle of things. You know, like, and injuries, one thing. Look at the ladies' team, 12 players injured. You know, as I go, we think we got problems. So, but again, for instance, we need to keep the faith. There's the reason why Manchester City fans say keep the faith, because you got to keep the faith. And you know, look at other clubs. You know, look at the results over the weekend. You know, you're like, just because Man City are not playing well, doesn't mean we have to go falling off the deep end and we're gonna lose. Bernardo Silva, yeah, exactly. So that's what I just said. Other news. Oh, my telephone battery is going down. That's wonderful. News, well, okay, I had plenty of it before. Andrea Carpampiasso. I think, for instance, this one is a done deal. I think it'll be a matter of time before this guy comes in. He's a left back, but he's also versatile from Juventus. City wanted him. I think he wanted to come in January, but we didn't want to pay the bag, as the kids would say. 70 million. I think we can get him for 60 or something like that. I'll do a deal, but I think that's a done deal. So a good guy from Juventus. So I look forward to see him. Liam Delap, don't want him coming United. You know, he's not his top target. I know Sky Sports have been going on. You know, what's it go talking about their top target and he's going to United? Is he? I don't know. Let's go. But I don't do it, Liam. You've seen how everybody, all the players who go to United end up trash. You know, what's good, and you know, it may fact that United have got to pay us money. but no, I just don't want to see Liam actually lose his. Lose his faith in football. The Morgan Gibbs White thing, I'm going to give that 0. By the way, what's it called? That's not going to work. For instance, I'm not having that at all. For instance, 100 million quid for him. I think it's just a player media speculation. Also, I give also a 0 to the Bruno Guerrero's interest. I think Man City could be interesting for Bruno, but I think the way he scored his 4th goal and he's doing paid into the bench and he's staying here, I'm staying here. I know that means something to nothing to people, blah blah blah. But I think he's going to look and say, well, we're in the Champions League. Yeah, I know you're in the Champions League. Blah blah blah. I think he loves the club, and I can't see him going anywhere. And I think we will. City were interested in a guy called Exquelia Palacigo, whatever. Again, sorry, I do get your name wrong. Another midfielder, Argentine, 26-year-old from Argentina. Again, I'm just going to mention the names. I'm not going to go through it. You know, I don't know. But again, for instance, it could be speculation, it could be rubbish. But I'll give it a 5 at the moment, etc. Just in case. You know, what's it got? It could mean something. Also, we're interested in a guy. So Maginis Akuchuchi, another midfielder, yes, from Monaco. A 23-year-old attacking midfielder. Again, they're looking at attacking midfielders to replace Gundogan and De Bruyne, because I think that's what we need. Because attacking midfielders. He's French, so another midfielder. Because again, you're going to see a lot of these midfielder talks all the time. So all these players, it's going to be an absolute avalanche of players being mentioned, because the players know, the cities know and we're having a transition. So everybody is going to be mentioned for City. So a lot of these names will just come and go. That's the reason why I'm not going to go into it. If you want to go and listen to somebody stream and he's going to do a watch along and blah blah blah, talk about it and we need to get this guy in. Yeah, a lot of times this is just press speculation. The foreign verse thing, a lot of people give the whole thing a bit more credence. The fact that the Bayer Leverkusen mob were in Manchester last week and saying it was more of a interest with get McAtee going over to Bayer Leverkusen and Stefan Ortega going to Leverkusen. Yeah, maybe not. A swap deal for Florian Wirtz plus cash? Don't know. Again, for instance, his family wants to stay in Germany. Is that true? Not true. Again, it's speculation. We don't know. It says McAtee is open to the signing of going to to thingy. Is that true? Don't know. Any other? Oh yeah, there was a couple more from AC Milan. Hernandez and Reinders. One's a left back and one's a midfielder. Again from AC Milan, a duo. quite happy to spend 100 million on 2 players. Theo Hernandez, and also bringing in Johnny Rangers from AC Milan. Theo is a 27-year-old left back. Again, we're looking at left backs, and found it interesting that we have been linked with a duty left back. Of course, Theo Fernandez is a very, very much an out and out left back. Can play left, right. 26-year-old midfielder, the other guy. Tian, midfielder. Again, the left back and the midfielder. Again, you can see the correlation that there was to go up. It's always about left backs, midfielders, defenders. You can see where this is going. So we're going to be linked with nearly every midfielder, every left back. What's good in the history of football? And but we never know. So what's good? So it's going to be an interesting summer season, transfer window season. And to me, it's going to be an annoying transfer window season because again, it's going to be a lot of we're going to get this guy's going, this guy's coming, and it's going to be like. And I like peace and quiet. I like peace and quiet. I'm a man. I like peace and quiet, and it's going to be all about the coming, going, and this guy's and going. It's bad enough losing Kevin De Bruyne, for instance, and taking that on the chin. And but losing all the players as well, I'm okay with it. Again, for instance, but we need one thing we need players who are not going to get in, who can play for every 3 games. We need players, for instance, who are good players. We can't just buy garbage players, but again, because you never know how people are going to settle. We need players, for instance, who's going to stay at this club long term. Players who have got the right attitude, and so there's a lot. I know there's a lot to do. But I do think it's going to be defence and midfield, etc. We'll be concentrating on. What's it called on wingers, probably. But it's going to be an interesting season. Summer transfer season. Who we're going to get and who we're not going to get. But then again, we're not the only ones in the market because quite a few of the Premier League sides, etc., are doing the same thing. So it's going to be, and so City's got to definitely play the card to the chest. So for instance, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next 24 hours. This has been the past 24 hours. I don't know if I've covered everything. Maybe not. Who knows? But I'm going to get going. I know you've got a bit busy to do. I'll catch up with you tomorrow, for instance, unless what happens, which I'm sure it will. With any City news. But again, it'll probably be more like transfer window transfers. But again, a lot of the transfers, I'm just going to give them a quick 5 or maybe 6. It's nice to see City trying down the academy players, which is good, and Phil showing a bit more respect for Phil, which is good, and Nicole O'Reilly, as well, and Divine, which was probably my happiest part because this guy's really good. If you ever get a chance to see him play football, he's really, really good, and he's one for the future. And he's free. He doesn't cost anything, and he's English. So bring him through, and he helps our quota. Right, so I'm going to get going. A lot more water fighting. It's the last day of Songkran and the Happy New Year festival in Thailand. And I was asked today, what's going on? You're not going down to the Songkran? I said it's like fireworks display. For instance, when you've done the fireworks, you kind of done it really. Okay. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave and leave it. Sorry, cat from Thailand. So it'll be me, mine. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Puni. Okay, go. Sorry, cat. For your next Thai lesson. Sorry, cat.